Hey, what's up guys? We have a 2006 Itasca Navion made by Winnebago. This RV is a 23H, that's the model number, but it's about 24 feet in length. And you can see right behind me that it's not too big. You have your generator right back there. We'll take a look at it in a minute. Let me flip the camera over here. This RV is on a Dodge 3500 chassis with a Mercedes Sprinter diesel motor in it. So you are going to get a little bit better fuel economy than you would, of course, in a gas in this smaller Mercedes Sprinter diesel. So that's always a plus, although you do tend to spend a little bit more when it comes to a diesel, actually usually a lot more when it comes to a diesel versus a gas. However, this diesel is not priced too expensive. It's you know, about less than 50% of the cost of, you know, something that's newer. So if you're looking for something that is safer on budget, if you're looking for a diesel that's cheaper, that you don't have to break the bank on, that's 150, sometimes 100, anywhere from 120 up to 150, even $200,000 for a new B. Then this is not going to break the bank. It's not going to get anywhere near that. Actually, it's about 1/3 of the cost of that. So with that being said, it does have 86,000 miles on it. However, it is on a diesel Mercedes Sprinter. So that engine's going to last a lot longer than 86,000 miles. You do have your generator back here, the 3600 Onan. That is an LP generator, so you're running off of propane. You have some storage back here on the left-hand side. Not much. You could probably you know, put a screen back there if that's something that you were looking to do. We have propane over on the other side, and your water tank hookups, nothing to get crazy excited about. There are some pros and cons to something that is, you know, older like this. Pros being that you're, you know, not spending nearly as much. Cons, and we'll talk about the cons in a few minutes, but number one being just that it has more miles. It has 86,000 miles on it. So, you know, it does have more miles on it than something that's newer. So we'll take a quick walk around the outside here. Have that Navion symbol on the outside. The decals are actually still in really great shape for it being 15 years old. You do have an overhead bunk there at the top. So I believe this is actually considered a B+, if I'm not mistaken. And that's because it's the size of a B, or like a van, but it has an overhead cab. B pluses tend to be between a C and a B. Sorry, we have some background noise back there. So this is a B, essentially the same size as a B, about 25 feet in length. Bs can range anywhere from like 20 to 28 feet in length, depending upon, or even like 30 feet in length, depending upon the B that you're looking at. But this is only 24 feet, so it is definitely short. Perfect for getting in and out of areas, not taking up too much parking. Finding a spot to put this in isn't going to be too much of a struggle. You have that Itasca symbol up there in the top right-hand corner back there. You do have a little bit of a touch of fade. You can see there a little bit on the outside, the decals a little bit up there, kind of chipping away. But again, this coach is 15 years old, more than that actually. So you do have a back window back there. This is a rear bathroom. We'll see that when we head inside. The slide is in currently, so you do have one slide in this, which you have right here for the living space, this sofa. That is where your slide's at, and that goes out. But just to show you how much room you still have in here when the slide is in. It's not going to give you a tremendous amount of room, but it does go out to give you more space at least to get by. But this is what it looks like when the slide's in. You have your booth dinette here that turns into a bed. In front we have your chair, your front seats here. You can see it has that Dodge symbol there on the steering wheel, with a Mercedes logo actually right there on the window. I don't know how well you can see that, probably not too well. And then above that, you have your bunk right there, and a skylight above that. So you have some cabinets above this couch. This couch folds down flat into a fold, or like a futon type fold, and you have your kitchen behind that. You do actually have a tiny bit of counter space between the sink and the stove, so that's nice. A lot of times in this in the smaller Bs like this, you actually don't have any. You have a little bit in this, and you have some counter space underneath that, some counter space above that, microwave, toilet, shower, and a sink with some storage back there as well. You do also have a Norcold refrigerator. So one of the biggest compromises, your AC right here as well, one of the biggest compromises about this RV, if you haven't noticed already, is that there's actually no bed. But there is a bed. You have a bunk above there that you can use as the bed. As well, this folds into a bed. This is really strictly maybe 2 people max. It could be used a lot probably better with just 1 person, and that's what it was used by, was 1 person before. So, you know, it's definitely, it doesn't have a bed, which a lot of people can see as a downside, but you have to think that this was the design that they had in 2006, and what they came up with this Navion. Is it a plus? Absolutely not. It's a negative, but you have to weigh that with the expense of the RV. When you're talking about 1/3 of the price you would pay, actually probably less than 1/3 of the price you would pay for a brand new Mercedes actual Sprinters today are like $180,000, $200,000 brand new. Even used $180,000, $170,000 people want for them now, with 10,000 or so thousand miles on them. And you know, they have a bed, and you know, but is it worth 3 times the amount of money? You can also find RVs like this with a bed, but for this reason, again, it's still going to be cheaper than one with one. Now, some might say I might absolutely not purchase it without a bed, and some might say that you know, what you're using it for, what you're traveling with it for, it's going to work perfect, and that's who this RV is for. But it runs and drives great. It's actually looks, you have a lot of headroom in here, and a lot of decent space. Sometimes in like the Bs or a true B van, where things start to get rounded off, you lack a little bit of headroom. And it's not that you have a tremendous amount in this, but for 24 feet, you don't feel like cramped. And especially even with the slide in, you don't feel cramped. When that slide goes out, you have even more space. So if you guys like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you have comments, leave them down in the comment section. If you have any questions specifically about this RV, we'll leave an email down in the description below. Feel free to send an email to that email about this RV. And as always, thanks for watching.